Take their words, look it up in your thesaurus in your head, and then sprinkle it into your interview. This can really help you be the deciding factor for if you're going to get the job or if she's going to get the job. Hello, my name is Wendy Aldaman, and welcome to another episode with Career Elevations. On this channel, we talk all about, from start to finish, how you can get a job, how you can create a resume, work on your interview skills and tips, and everything in between. Sometimes you might get a little sprinkle of some weirdness in there, which, I don't know where that comes from, but sometimes it happens. So sit down, hold tight, and today we're going to be talking all about interviewing the interviewer. So when you go into an interview, do you make sure to bring in questions? Do you do research ahead of time to make sure that this is going to be a good fit for you? Ultimately, that's what we want, right? We want to make sure that this is going to be your dream job. Nobody really wants to just keep job hopping until they find something that they think is, the best thing for them. So these tips will really be able to help you to focus in and see what it is that you can do to help you along and get yourself your dream job. Wouldn't that be something lovely? A question that you can ask when you're in the interview, once you finally land that interview. Good job! Isn't that so exciting? A question that you can ask once you're in the real interview is, what software do you use? And sometimes, if it's applicable, if you can ask this question over the phone so that you're able to start doing some research and do some homework before you even step foot there, before you even get the interview, before you head in for the interview, this is really going to make you look like a winner. If you are doing your homework, you're doing your research ahead of time, this is a great way to make sure that they know that you are in it to win it. Some research that you can do even before you even apply for this position is to check out any information that you can find on this company. Obviously, go to their website, check out their LinkedIn, their Instagram, their Facebook page. If they have any YouTube videos, check out as much stuff as you can to see what you like about this company ahead of time. Check to see if their hours are something that you can work with. If you are not somebody who can wake up at 6 a.m. to be to work for a 7 a.m. job, that's something obviously to make sure that you are considering. So check the hours, check the time, check your travel distance, and see if they really align with the same things that you align with. The worst job that I've ever had was a position that ethically I didn't agree with. I didn't agree with the things that he did. He was far too progressive, far too aggressive in my eyes, and I wanted somebody who was on the same page as me. So when I left that position, ultimately I was able to find my dream job for many, many years until he retired. I was so thankful for that time that both places. I was so thankful for the bad position, and I was so thankful for the good position. Obviously I was thankful for the bad position to make sure that it was something that I did actually like. Obviously I was thankful for the bad position as well, because I was able to find out what I did and I didn't like from the places that I worked at. I know now that as a business owner, I know how I want to treat any of my team members and how I don't ultimately want to treat any of my team members. What's the longevity for your other employees here? Now, this is a little bit harder to gauge for some small businesses and some newer businesses. However, if you are hiring at a newer business and say they're 5 years old, if they still have their first employee or their second employee, or they have reasons behind why people left, like they went up for higher education, or they moved away, or they had a child, or whatever the situation is, if they can give you a good explanation as to why the last few people left, this can really help make you feel at ease to know that they are a good, solid company that people want to work for and work with. Like I was just saying about that boss that I didn't quite think was ethically there. This is how you can tell if ethically they are there, because people want to work with people who they align with. And if they don't align with them ethically, then they're going to leave. You can ask what the other team members are like. If the other team members are really, really extroverted and you are super introverted, or the opposite, it might be a little bit difficult for you to work with these people if they're going out every other night after work and you are just not one of those people. That could be a huge deciding factor for you. In addition to, if you're able to see how the other team members are, if they're able to give you some traits, and if you're able to take some of those traits and kind of sprinkle it in your interview as you go along, you can kind of almost put the words in their mouth to create you as the perfect employee for that position. What's your favorite part about coming to work here? Or another way to say it is, why are you passionate about working in this position? That can kind of see how they are as a hiring manager or as a team member, and you can see the reasons why they like coming. And if you're on edge at all, then that kind of will allow you to take just a second, take the pressure and the focal point off from you and turn it onto them so that they're able to ask a question more related and directed towards them versus towards yourself. What's the biggest reason why you think your patients, your customers, or your clients continue to come back time after time or year after year? See the reason why that they are the best company that you could work for, and see if those words play on what you can implement on your interview. What percentage of the time will I be working by myself versus directly with some other team members? This can allow you to make sure that you're really focusing in on how scheduled and prepared you are while you're preparing for a project that you have to hand in. So if you are a part of a project with another team member or a whole group, this will allow you to make sure that you are meeting all of your deadlines and how frequently you will be implementing work with other people. Is this a new position? Sometimes you are the first person in this position. They're creating a position from two team members that just don't quite have enough time. They've been continually adding on different tasks, and now they're having to disperse some of that task onto a new position. So if this is a brand new position, what I recommend for you to do is do some research on what you might be splitting up your time to do. See how you can benefit. See what books you can read and what podcasts you can listen to, what YouTube channels you can start diving headfirst into, so that you are really able to see how you can be the best of both worlds. So that if for some reason they're not 100% sure if they're going to have 40 hours of work for you to do in a week, then if you're able to show them what you can do that was not originally on your resume, once you get the job, of course, then you are able to really show yourself as a true asset to the team, and you'll be able to pick up a few extra things if they don't necessarily have those 40 hours for you. What traits are you looking for in a team member? This question kind of really goes back to how your other coworkers will be, but if you're able to ask in the beginning, what traits are you looking for in a team member? If you're able to take some of their words and open up your thesaurus in your head and find some words that you're able to take their words, look it up in your thesaurus in your head, and then sprinkle it into your interview. This can really help you be the deciding factor for if you're going to get the job or if she's going to get the job. So ask this question as early as you possibly can. What traits are you looking for in a team member? How quickly are you looking to fill this position? If they want the position to be filled ASAP, then make sure that you are able to cancel everything after work. You're able to do all of the homework and all of the research that I've been saying in the other questions, and you're really ready and prepared to step fully into this new position. If you have a few weeks, then that's even better. If you're able to get your hands on some extra books or some extra learning or some extra courses, kudos to you. The more learning, the better before you start into a new position. One of my favorite questions that I always ask the interviewer, but I don't necessarily always hear this from an interviewing manager, is there any questions that I haven't asked you that I should ask you? Now, I think that is one of the best interview questions to ask because it kind of allows them to tiptoe, and it allows you to tiptoe into some questions that you wouldn't have normally asked if this question decides to come up at the end of the interview. So again, is there any questions that I haven't asked you that I should ask you or that we should talk about? Now, if you want to indulge and talk about your family, your home life, that's totally fine. However, if you have 3 kids at home and you have a 12-year-old named Jacob, a 13-year-old named Jennifer, and a 15-year-old named Rex, then they don't really care about that, right? What they care about is to make sure that you have all of your eggs in the right basket, if you will. If you have 3 kids, then you can simply say, I'm married and I live in a neighboring city. I have 3 children that are all 13 and above, or whatever imaginary number I just gave, that they're all 13 and above, and they're able to stay home by themselves if there is any problems. If they need to stay home and one of them is sick, then either my spouse can go home with them because he has a very flexible job, or he works at home, or my parents can go and watch them because they are currently retired. So if you have any situation like that, make sure that you back it up with, but I have this covered because of this. So anything that you're going to present to them, make sure that you see it in their eyes as well. And whatever they might think is a negative, make sure you can twist it and turn it into a positive. Just for you, I have all of these questions down below in a clickable PDF, fillable, printable, so that you are able to print this off, take notes on it, and take it to your next interview. I want you to be the biggest and the best rock star out of all of them. So this is one way that you can achieve rock star status here. So go ahead and click that link below. It is completely free. You can download it, fill it in, be that rock star. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you could, before you go, hang on just a second. If you could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Why? Why do I want you to do this? Because it shows YouTube that you like this video. And what happens when you like and subscribe is that you're basically giving this gift. You're giving this YouTube video to another person, to somebody else who is looking for interview help. You're putting this video in front of them so that they're able to see it as well. So please, if you did like it, please go ahead and like, share, subscribe, do all of the things, whatever you want to do. I would absolutely love that if you did that. Until next week, keep elevating your career. Again, this was Wendy Aldaman with Career Elevations. Thanks for joining me.